It's been a minute. In the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 7, the Apostle Paul writes, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." Very short verse, only a few words there. But what he says there is really powerful for all of us to gather as Christians. So many times as Christians, we want to see God working in our lives. We want to be able to see it. We want to be able to touch. We want to be able to feel like, what is God doing? Because we walk by faith and not by sight. It's not about seeing God working. It's not about seeking after signs in our life. Like if you want to follow God, it's about having faith that God is going to work and is going to continue to work. I think it's good to look back on your life and see what God has done in your life, but ultimately it's best just to focus on what God has for you right in front of you. To focus on God through your faith. We walk by faith, not by sight. Jesus said this in Matthew chapter 12, verse 39. He said, "But he answered and said to them, an evil and adulterous generation seeks after a sign. No sign will be given to it except for the sign of the prophet Jonah." And he goes on to explain, as Jonah was in the belly of the earth, or as Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so the Son of Man will be in the belly of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. He's talking about his death and resurrection. He said, the only sign I'm going to give you is that I'm going to die and come back from the dead. I'm going to die and come back from the dead. That's a pretty good sign, and that should be enough for us to have the faith that God's able to do it. So walk by the faith that God gives you. Don't seek after signs. Don't seek after all these wondrous works. Instead, seek after God and just allow him to work through your faith, and you'll see your faith will grow. And know that it doesn't take a lot of faith in order to do a lot of amazing things. So, thank you for watching. It's been a minute.